What's that?
That's body heat. No, it's body heat is how he always said it.
Eric Stromer, Cindy Dole, you're listening to Home Wizards, and we love our music, and we love that you're hanging with us because we want you to find new ways to make your place just look better, feel better, and sound better. And in the summertime, I mean, this is that time of year when you want to bring music.
As my kid says, it's time to bring the tunes outside. I'm going to buy the trampoline. And then they all bring the big loud music out, and then everybody bounces on the trampoline. It's fantastic. You know, and we used to remember the boom boxes back in the day? We'd carry around these huge, almost looks like a traveling suitcase of music. You know, and before that, of course, it was, string quartets, but that was a different century. But, now there's so much accessibility to outdoor music and so many different ways to get it outside of the house. Let's talk about some of those things.
Especially when your kids are saying, it's time to bring the tunes.
Bring the tunes outside, Dad. Let's bounce on the trampoline. My kid, lately, all he does, because he's 16 and growing like every 5 seconds.
Hold a note.
Is there any food?
Food?
Yeah.
Really?
Dad, you get any food?
Wow.
So that's my mantra lately.
Okay, feed.
Yeah.
All right, well, we can do anything from wired to wireless, can't we?
And I'll tell you, the wireless, man, it makes a world of difference. And I've spent, I'm a big audio guy. I love a great sounding stereo. And man, the new stuff with the wireless technology is just incredible. But if you're old school and you've got the big receivers in the garage, and you're going to have to run wires, and that's going to be a completely different way to do it in your own home. So
before you go wireless or wired, I guess there's some things to consider. First of all, you've seen those rock speakers.
I had that before at the mall. You're like, where is you ain't nothing but a hound dog coming from? Is that a river rock? That's
yes.
There's speakers in a rock, right?
And they're kind of okay, but
they're not audiophile
that's the
quality.
Thing. And so the key is they are maybe okay for the far end of your property,
sure.
just for like maybe so that the dogs can hear the music, or right. Would you agree?
That's exactly right. Yeah.
And then what about resistance? The resistance of the elements, like are they water resistant and safe for outdoor use?
Well, that's just it. I mean, some of the outdoor stuff that they've built that is supposed to blend into nature. I had a pair, I think Bose made them, that were outdoor, and they were they almost looked like a teardrop, a big teardrop.
Oh, yes.
And they were green, so theoretically they would just sit in the bushes and you wouldn't notice them. And the sound quality was not great. It's not like you can make them directional. It's more of a 360 sound that just sort of emanates from some part of your grass or your wooded area. So if you're somebody that just loves that focused, two speakers on either side of you or surround sound feel, that's not going to provide that, but it is going to give you great ambience.
And was it waterproof?
It was definitely waterproof. It could rain on it. The way the design is that the rain kind of goes just around the outside and drips down, and then the component of sound is on the inside coming out from, above inside the device itself. And, it almost looks like, an upside down helmet,
Mm-hmm.
So,
okay.
a helmet just sitting there and the rain drops off it, but the sound component is on the inside.
So the idea is to really make sure, do your research, read the package, go on the website.
Yeah, and find out what kind of listener you are. Are you, if it's me and I'm sitting in the hot tub, then I'm going to want to have the directional sound right there so I can really hear the mix, man, and you can hear the channels and the separation of sound and all that stuff. But if you're just somebody that wants ambient music, it doesn't make a difference.
What about the 10-foot rule? How far away to place your speakers from your patio or your outdoor family area? And I guess is the device 10 feet a nice sample?
Yeah.
In terms of no matter what speaker you're going for, you're going to have decent sound without fiddling with more professional methods of tuning, right?
That's exactly right. I think any time you get beyond 10 feet, then you lose the separation of stereo and all that good stuff. So again, it's based on your listening style.
Your taste.
Yeah.
And what about receiver, amplifier, or MP3?
So now that's what I was talking about before.
Yeah.
So if you have an old receiver that has the wiring to it, you're going to have to now get wire, the things that you can tack wires up along baseboards with. You get a hammer, and then it's got this little almost like H-shaped thing that you actually pound in over the wire.
But
and
we're
it holds
seeing
it in
the
place.
wires.
You're seeing the wires.
So that drives me nuts.
It drives everybody nuts. So that's why the advent of this wireless stuff is so great. But I will say,
That the wired sounds better?
It does. If you're an audiophile and you want that true, rich sound, and you're set up in such a way that you've got that in-your-face kind of, right and left channel thing.
Like an outdoor theater
almost. You're definitely it's getting better. The wireless is getting better, don't get me wrong.
It's like solar lighting.
It's not
took a
there
while,
yet. Exactly,
right?
exactly.
And what about, test first, screw later? The whole idea of, where you're mounting.
That's where your speakers are, because, you have to, most of these mounting kits that come with the speakers, you have to screw into the fascia of your house or underneath an overhang if you have it, and you're going to be putting holes into the wood that is the framing of that existing area. So you definitely want to just have your kid hold up one and your husband hold up another, and move around and hold them up and find out where you'd like the sound from the best before you commit to screwing them in.
And what about in terms of dealing with batteries, wireless speakers, the whole idea that sounds great, but the problem is that it requires batteries, right?
Sometimes they do, yeah. And in that scenario, is it an easy thing to access? Is it going to be something that you do? Because a lot of times, if it's too difficult to access and you don't want to do it, it's just a waste of money and time. It's not working for you anyway. So, again, you got to make sure that you're someone that's going to be into the upkeep. And, a great way to remember to replace those batteries is to download some of our downloadable printables.
Thank you.
That's one of our list devices that we give you for free at yourhomewizards.com to remind you, change the batteries in the outdoor speakers. Done.
Perfect.
Yeah.
If you were going to go with wired speakers, what about the whole idea of direct burial wires?
Sure, yeah.
Making that cable was rated.
That's exactly right. If it's rated to be in ground and it's impervious to animals scratching or biting them or whatever, it's great. Bury them. Go ahead, and they're going to last forever, and they won't disintegrate over time. So that's a great thing to know.
And that's something that I guess. Well, is that something you'd find at the big box store, or is that more like at the audio?
No, they would probably sell that. They sell speaker wire at the big box store. It's essentially lamp cord. It's the same gauge usually. And then there are companies like Monster Cable that make these huge, oversized wires that are supposed to transmit sound more effectively. I still am not sure the jury's out on that, in my opinion. But, if you're an audiophile, you'll go to all lengths to get the best sound you can possibly get. Keep in mind, too, if you're outside, that's not an optimal listening environment either, so it's kind of a toss-up one way or another. If you're an audiophile and you're going to want to have that great sound, you're going to want to be in a soundproof room that's tweaked and designed and angled for appropriate sound listening. If you're outside, it's pretty much all bets are off. Just get the music playing and start dancing.
And if you are going to go wireless, we'll put this on the website. There's a bunch of really great, brand new, cool, outdoor speakers from something called, the Outcast. It's kind of a funky looking stand, small size speakers they just kind of stand on your deck,
Sure.
To wallet size, outdoor, wireless speakers.
Yeah, and I mean, with the advent of Pandora and all these other services that give you unlimited music with minimal commercials, you might as well have everything wirelessly hooked into your iPhone or your personal, digital device, because all your music's probably there. So why not take advantage of that instead of having to DJ all night?
Well, I was going to say, you like to be the DJ.
Well, last night a DJ saved my life from a broken heart.
Anyway, thanks for hanging with us. This is always going to be on our website at yourhomewizards.com. Go out and do something great to enjoy the place you call home. And this is Eric Stromer and Cindy Dole. Remember this, until next time, the key is under the mat.